What kind of pressure are you currently carrying that people around you don't see?
That question can make me start laughing. But we talk about the kind of pressure that you're carrying that people don't see. All of us are carrying big pressure. And somebody once said that when life is void of challenge, living becomes a challenge. Meaning that if you're not going to pressure, you'll be pressured by something else. That means you must be in command of your pressures now, because you need pressure. You need pressure for a new you to be born. You need pressure for you to go higher. If you've done something on stress management before, there are two major kinds of stress. We have what we call eustress and distress. Eustress are positive pressure. Distress are negative pressure. But don't forget that the same thing that puts somebody else under pressure makes someone just clean, that person is excited. The same task. So it depends on your capacity. Because if you have lower capacity and you're meant to carry, let's take an example, you have low strength and you're meant to carry 100 kg and you can't, you've not built capacity for it, that will be a very negative pressure. So most times, pressure comes as a result of what, should I say, negative pressure comes as a result of how you are labeling those pressures, especially if you've not seen those pressure as what your life needs to get to where you're going. Case in point, nothing good comes easy, meaning that if you want to go higher, you need to go to a higher pressure. But those kind of pressure are positive pressure. So if you tell me, what kind of pressure am I going through? Pressure, I'm going through pressure that will take me to the next level of my life, which is required. So for you to now label it and know that, do I need this? Do you understand the pressure you're going through? However, there's some life pressure that you must not give yourself that are useless pressure. That if you're going to do kind of pressure, trying to impress others, and the people you're trying to impress, it's not going to add any value to you. So going through this kind of pressure, as simple as I was talking to someone and the guy wanted to do naming ceremony. I didn't have money. Then he came to meet me and he said, I've not gotten money to buy cow. Then I said, don't buy anything. He said, how do you mean? And do you know this guy went to come borrow money to buy goat? Then people take on unnecessary pressure. For my own naming for my kids, I didn't kill goat. I just named them, and they're named today. And I'm wondering, if you call them by that name without goat, they still answer to the name. So most times we take on some pressure due to, I don't know, a sense of wanting to impress others. And these guys don't care about you. Let's say, for example, somebody met me one time. That's why I'm not the best counselor, especially when you're taking some nonsense pressure in life that you don't need to. The person wants to get married. He came to me. He said, we don't have money for all. I said, you don't need all. He said, how do I mean? I told the person, I said, has your church agreed to marry? He said, then pack food in nylon. Since you don't have money don't stress yourself. Well, guess what? That guy listened. That guy got the pack of, get the food. So as you're going, you'll be getting your food. 2 weeks later, the guy got a job in America. They relocated. This is about 13 years ago. Now, for me, there's some pressure of telling your school, your children, to a school you cannot afford. Just for what? So there's some pressure that we should not take on. Pressure of trying to change your car by borrowing money. You don't need it. There's some pressure that people take on in life that you look at it that are they with their brain. Those kind of life pressure are self-inflicted life pressure. But the real pressure, because if you keep taking those pressure, they sap your energy. Then when you need energy for the positive pressure that you need to combat that will take you to the next level, you don't have energy anymore. You've bound those energy on life pressure that's self-afflicted, as a self-inflicted pressure that's not required, that even when you win at those things, it won't take you to anywhere. So being comfortable in who you are, it's one of the most, should I say, treasure of life. So if you're telling me what kind of pressure I'm going through, I'm not going through those negative pressure. Whatever I do, I can do, that's why I'm doing it. So whatever I cannot do, I cannot do. I'm not willing to impress anyone for whatever I cannot do. But however, if it's about stretching myself to become a better me, then I'm willing to take on that kind of pressure. And that's why, because I'm striving to be a better form, a better me, then I'm taking pressure. But those are positive pressure. Those are the kind of pressure I'm going through.
How do you usually respond to pressure? Push harder, withdraw, panic, or adapt?
So the first thing I do is I name the pressure, understand the pressure. Because for me, if whatever you don't understand is a problem, you need to understand the pressure itself. Okay, what am I going with? This thing I'm about to go through, is it something I need? Is it what I don't need? And I'm someone that I'm willing to adapt. I usually tell people, I said, you do what works. And when it comes to whatever you want to do, and you see that life is throwing you another, maybe you plan to do something else and life wants to reward this kind of, and people go through pressure because their plan didn't go through. The plan didn't sail through. Say, I planned to do this, but it didn't work. So you started going to pressure. Do what works. So for me, that is what I do. I'm adaptive. I'm not, you don't have to overwork. You don't have to underwork. You don't have to, whatever it is. If bouncing back is what you need, then bounce back. If working harder is what you need, work hard. But understand the pressure and now become the version of yourself that can combat with such pressure.
What belief about life success, responsibility, or failure is adding unnecessary pressure to people's life?
I feel we've handled a lot of them in the last conversation. There's so many things that people have added to their life. People borrow money to get their next car. I wonder why you do that yourself. People borrow money to impress. I feel this is a part of the world. People borrow money to impress women a lot. Men borrow money to impress. That's why men die too fast. Because they do everything to become who they are not because of their ego. And I can tell you, you don't spend your energy on something that is not rewardable. Think about it so well. Whatever is not rewardable, people, like I was telling you about, like I mentioned the last session we were talking about, the first question you asked me, make up your mind. The only way you can attack life well is don't put yourself through unproductive pressure, but put yourself through productive pressure. So save your energy for productive pressure and take off unproductive pressure. Because have you ever seen a car you desired 7 years ago? When you see the car now, you'll be wondering why you were desiring it.
True.
So it means that all these things fade away. You need them when you can afford them. When you cannot afford them, you don't need them. And not having them does not cripple you, does not stop you. But you know one thing? But if it's about pressure of you getting returns to train yourself, getting more to improve your capacity, then I would say take on those kind of pressure. That's the pressure your life needs. It doesn't need any other pressure than that.
Seed Academy, your growth partner.